Yeah, what's up? What's going on, everybody? This is Super Dave back at it again with the PA Political Revolution podcast, and we're back at it again, man. We back at it again to try to give you some update on the corruption on council, what is normally known as the circus, too, among some insiders and most other people that kind of follows along with my political opinion and my political commentary that it is a circus, right? And a lot of these council members, at least four of them, are pretty much clowns, in my opinion, right? Are pretty much clowns. Now, today we're going to be talking about, right? Today we're going to be talking about the farce, the straight fraud, I should say, of the mayor's homeless shelter, right? I mean, not the mayor's homeless shelter, the mayor's quote unquote the mayor's coalition, right? Now, for the people that don't know, right, Port Arthur is a council manager form of government. And what that means, right, is that means that the mayor does not hold more authority than anybody else, right? Everybody has an equal vote and the equal thing. The only thing the mayor does, he's pretty much a ceremonial position, right? If somebody's doing some ribbon cuttings, he's just the face of the city, right? As a representative, right? So that's pretty much on the average day-to-day basis what the mayor's job is. That's his job is pretty much well, it's not his job. He just don't have more. He just don't have more authority over any other council member, right? So you have in like places like Houston, they have position spots that are called strong mayor, where the mayor gets paid a lot more, and he's pretty much the equivalent of a city manager, right? Pretty much does what the city manager do, right? Has more authority, has more call. He can hire and fire people, if I'm not mistaken. That's something that's a lot different than what we have going on in Port Arthur, right? Pretty much the day-to-day operations is ran by the city manager, right? The city manager is the person that deals with the day-to-day operations and the business, right? Not the mayor. But what I've been telling you and other people have been telling you, right, that the mayor does not have any formal type of authority. That's just the clown show that they're lying and they're doing a fraud and a disservice to the people. And that's why, and that's another reason why this city is so dysfunctional. It is trying to operate outside the rules and regulations and the ordinance that this city has adopted, right? So, what I believe is going on, right? The mayor wants to make himself look way more important than what he is, right? You have people, Bartie, that's been riddled with failure in their careers and in their lives, right? So this is like a last ditch effort to try to make himself look like he's important, right? And he really doesn't care where the city goes, the city falls, crumbles, set on fire. He wants to go on these trips. He wants to go burn down, burn all of these, burn all of the city's money with it, right? He doesn't care if whatever happens to the city burn the ashes. He don't really care for it as long as he can burn the city's money and take all of these trips, right? And try to make unsuspecting folk look more smarter than what he is. And one way he does that is try to make the mayor's position more than what it is, right? Now, you've seen the mayor. See, the mayor, he only wants to be a part of things when he think they can get some money from it, right? When they have that's the only reason why he had this quote unquote mayor's coalition, right? So, and And since he found out there wasn't no money coming into it right now, they just kind of set it on the wayside, not really trying to do anything for the homeless people. But Council Member Deneen Beckham, she's always had an interest in this because she has some people in her district. There's a lot of homeless people in her district, so she wants to do some things. She wants to try to find out and hey, what's going on? What we're gonna do? Try to go ahead and talk about this. Try to see what options they're available for them, right? So the mayor tries to come up with this lame excuse, right? And council is going to set them straight. Hey, look, this is a council manager form of government. There's no such thing as the mayor. You can't put the mayor on letterheads and all this here. It's the council with the city of Port Arthur, right? And that's one reason why you can't trust a lot of people on this council. Oh, let me jump on back. I didn't really clarify the point I was trying to make earlier. What I believe is going on with him and the city manager, right? They're making a deal for him to look more important than what he is. In return, they're going to cut some deals with the. We're going to cut for deals for each other, right? He's going to try to protect the city manager, where the city manager is going to continue, in my opinion, to play hot potato with the money, right? They're going to play Russian roulette with the money. They're going to play three-card Monte with the money, right? So they're going to do all of these tricks and schemes to hide, misappropriate money, make up different departments to put money in, right? So this city is pretty much out of control. So it's so screwed up how the way the city manager has been running it and how the way he lets Bartie try to run it. It's completely disorganized, right? And Bartie is a doggone fool. He doesn't have a lick of sense in him, right? Right, because I'm gonna always keep going back to say this, right? If you have a man like Thurman Bartie is bold enough to beat on kids when he was a justice of the peace, and if he's doesn't have a conscience in extorting those kids, right? At the highest with the one of the schools, the high school, the middle schools, when they used to call him small fee Bartie as a hall monitor because he would take bribes from kids, right? So they wouldn't catch a demerit, a hall pass violation, whatever it is when you come in late and I get a hall pass, right? Allegedly. So they call him small fee Bartie, right? If you have a human being that's so reprehensible that does all of this, right? He's pretty much proven that he's the scum of the earth. And him, city manager, Kinfolk Franklin, sometimes, well, Hamilton all the time, and sometimes on and off Thomas Kinlaw, which depends on, which way he will be. Sometimes he make a good decision, a lot of times he don't, right? So all of them, those four, right, the majority of the council is the reason why this city is trash, right? And what this video is going to show you is going to show you, hey, the mayor is no more important than anybody else on council, and he's the one that's been holding up this the meetings, right? Because it doesn't need to fall under him. It's the reason why we can't get anything going on for these homeless folks, right? So this is what the video is going to show you. I'm going to go ahead and go ahead and get this thing started.
Number 2, which is a discussion regarding the updates on the Port Arthur Coalition for the Homeless, and this has been requested by Councilwoman Beckham. And Councilwoman Beckham, would you come up, Ms. Ned, please, and disseminate that which I've asked you to pass out. Councilwoman Beckham, I do have something that's written and prepared in response to your request, and as soon as everyone gets it, I begin, but you can begin if you wish.
Could I have a moment to review what you've passed out?
But I can begin with this, and then if you would care to rebut from what I'm going to say.
That's fine.
Okay, it says it's January 7th, 2025, and it's an update on information in reference to the Mayor and Council's Advisory Coalition on Homelessness. And it begins by stating that the Mayor, being the official representative for this advisory council, has not, as of this reporting date, called this group into session for an organizational meeting because of the following circumstances listed. The first being unhoused in America has taken a new direction due to the United States Supreme Court's opinion in the Grant Pass versus Johnson case. Secondly, the criminal component now present in every community in America is being dealt with in various ways. Thirdly, the mayor has sought information and models from across these United States through dialogue with leaders of municipalities of various sizes on approaches to address this issue in an equitable and fair manner. A very clear directive has not been offered by Texas, and the mayor awaits this anticipated directive from our governor, as other states have done so. The administration and our federal government will change in a few days. Thusly, federal assistance available to municipalities or municipal governments to address this issue may change as well. So directives at the present to assist a coalition with providing permanent structures for unhoused individuals and families is the vision the mayor actually embraces. However, the uncertainty of available federal as well as state assistance serves as an impediment to moving this idea forward. Now, the mission and the task of the coalition is to assist with the eradication of unhoused individuals within our community and to provide the wraparound services associated with this issue. And I present this to council as a matter of record, if it may be, and to the community from the mayor regarding the request by our Mayor Pro Tem. Go right ahead, Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you. While I appreciate all of this information, none of it prevents our coalition from meeting now to begin the process of talking about what the city needs, what the wraparound services are, where they are located, ideas, that we can bounce around as basically a brainstorm session just to start the process. There's no reason that our coalition for the homeless needs to wait. The law changes rapidly. We all know that. It changes sometimes daily. The fact that there is a new administration coming on, the fact that there are laws that have changed should not prevent the coalition that's been in place now for several years and has not met from meeting to try to start the process of what are we going to do? What do we have available? And then when we do get directives from the state and the federal government, we'll know what of those ideas that we have already come up with would work and those that we need to do away with. I've had some members of our coalition contact me saying, how can we meet? When can we meet? I've provided them a list of all of the names and contact information for every member on that committee. Several of them have attempted to get people together to meet, and they've been told that they cannot meet because this committee is the mayor's committee and only the mayor can call a meeting. So I would like the city attorney to look at the ordinance that established the Coalition for the Homeless, because I don't believe there's anything in there that gives that committee to any particular person on council or to the mayor or gives any authority to anyone sitting up here to be the one who has the authority to establish a meeting.
Now, She set the record straight on that, right? You have this jackass, right? Thurman Bill Bartie, that has actually written some bullcrap, or he probably got somebody to write some bullcrap that sounds somewhat halfway intelligent, right? There's the reason why he wasn't doing anything for about 2 years, at least 2 years, is because anticipated administration. I don't know what he's saying some dumbass shit, right? He's saying some dumb butt crap. He just lies, right? This is the level of incompetence we have as a mayor. Nothing in the city. This is a council manager form of government. There's nothing in the city that the mayor can do himself unless directed by the council as a whole, and they need to vote on it and have a resolution for it, right? So other council members are going to go ahead and set this clown straight.
Okay, Councilman Doucette.
Here we go. I'm glad that came up today. Now we're going right back to what Councilman Kinlaw said earlier in our form of government. If we have a advisory coalition on homelessness and the mayor is the representative of it, it's just what it means. When it comes down to establishing and issuing directive on what this coalition and group of people will do, that's not the responsibility of the mayor or any one individual. It's the responsibility of city council.
Now let me go ahead and stop right there, right? You heard it's not the responsibility of the mayor, but it's the responsibility of the council in this form of government that we have, people. I mean, it's, sometimes as citizens, you don't want to believe how screwed up a city is and how screwed up Port Arthur is, but you have to face the reality. You have a dumbass mayor, a dumbass city manager, and just like you heard Ms. Beckham say, right? Ms. Beckham Reese say, that they have some people that actually believe that this is the mayor's group. Nobody can have a meeting until he calls it, whatever. That's how bad this city has been going. No, we have rules outlined in the charter and ordinances about what the jobs of the council members and the city manager is supposed to do. But we have incompetent jackasses that refuse to do this and want to strong arm your local government. And strong arming local government trying to doing their own thing what they would want to do, right? Handicaps the city, right? That's why we have seven elected officials, right? To handle things for the citizen, not to be doggone bottlenecked with an incompetent dumb mayor, right? So these things could have been going on without Bartie. Don't even need Bartie, right? He doesn't have the mental capacity to do anything, right? In my opinion, he's a jack. He's a dummy. He's a dummy.
So I, for one, have mentioned it before. This committee that we approved it with the intentions that the committee will address homelessness. When we say address homelessness, we're not talking about putting people out. We're not talking about, we're talking about a committee of people to get together to try to figure out what can we do in homelessness. These people were supposed to get together, decide what are things we could do, and check with other cities, see how other cities are addressing it. Come up with a solution, and this solution, when they come up with, then they bring it back, because if they need any type funding or any type of assistance, it'll have to be approved by this council. This council makes those decisions. If we're going to have a homeless coalition, we need to first establish, and we should have that, who's our representative, who on council also works with it. We need to establish when will they meet. They should meet regularly, monthly or quarterly. When they meet, they should have an agenda. They should be moving forward. Someone from that committee should keep the council apprised of what are their needs, how would they need us to assist them. So if this has been if we have not been meeting because the mayor has been checking with this or that, well, then we need to stop that. We need to go back to take a look at the makeup of it. So, city attorney, I, along with Councilwoman Beckham, I agree. Let's find out what did we authorize when we authorized the committee, and if we have to make it more clear, then we need to go back and take a look at amending it. We should amend it so that it reflect it's not the mayor's advisory. Nothing in the city of Port Arthur, listen to this, nothing in the city of Port Arthur is the mayor's.
Nothing in the city of Port Arthur is the mayor's, right? Nothing in this city of Port Arthur is the mayor's. Nothing in this city of Port Arthur is the mayor's.
Nothing. That is established. The state. Everything here is Port Arthur. If it's a group, if it's a commission, and if it's a board, nothing is labeled the mayor's in the city of Port Arthur. This is a manager council form of government. So therefore, I'd like to see this come back too after you do your homework on it. And as I stated earlier, you could get with the mayor. But I know there's a thing that prevents any groups or any title or anything being the mayor, even just the title without saying the name, not supposed to exist. We've talked about that before, okay? So let's get this rolling.
Okay, Councilman Kinlaw.
Hey, thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I've been getting hit about this. I think this coalition was established about 3 years ago, and we were asked as council members to appoint individuals to this coalition.
3 years ago, right? 3 years ago, but you heard Thurman Bill Bartie goddamn talking about the change in administration, blah, 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 blah. And you have Beaumont that have an actual coalition, I believe, the homeless coalition, and they receiving money for it, right? So you can go, well, you can make a call to Beaumont and talk to some people about that, right? That shouldn't be hard. Hell, you can do it, or people from the coalition can do it, man. Look, this is not rocket science, right? This is not rocket science. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just have to see that you have to look at the diagram of other wheels and just copy that. That's all you have to do.
And, basically, I don't think my appointees had the opportunity to meet at all. So I think that's the situation. And again, we do have a manager council form of government. We don't have a strong mayor form of government. And they should have been meeting a long time ago to establish some type of policies, guidelines, networking, grant opportunities. It's money's out there.
Now, you heard Kinlaw had to say, hey, this is a council manager form of government, right? When you have a few people trying to go by the actual, how it's supposed to go by the state, right? A manager, a council form of government, but you got two jackasses, right? Namely being the city manager and the mayor. Want to run things like a strong mayor, which is going to coincide because you can't legally do things, right? And it's so stupid. This jackass thinks he can bully both of them, right? Bartie and city manager, allegedly, right? They believe they can bully people and doing this and that, and Bartie I think that from what they say, that's why Bartie ran the other city attorney away, right? She just got tired of it, but she had her own issues too, right? So you have this fool thinking you can just do anything in the name of being the mayor, right? Now, this city has so much corruption. I'm still trying to question why the DA, Texas Rangers, FBI have not came over in here, right? The only thing that can lead me to believe that the law enforcement may be corrupted just like some of these individuals, right?
Things that's out there, but we need individuals to step forward and figure out what can we do to best service the citizens of Port Arthur. And I think we kind of dropped the ball on that. And if you would, city attorney, yeah, get that information. I think that we all had our input of what we wanted to do. We kind of talked about what type of funding that we can get. I think the last thing that I remember was about $1 million to address some of those needs. But if you would get back with this council and let us know, because my appointees are interested to get something started. I'm sure all my colleagues, appointees as well. We have to start now and prepare for the future. If we don't have meetings, if we don't have a body established, we don't have the governorship of that body, we don't have the grant opportunities that's out there. We go to conferences all the time, and one of the main topics that they talk about in those conferences, they talk about homelessness. They talk about how can we, every city is facing that problem. But we got to be ahead of the stick and ensure that the one thing that we have within our control is to make sure that our appointees, they meet. If they can meet and they can establish some type of body and find out what type of programs that's out there, grant opportunities, we'll be ahead of the game. So if we can do that, and if you can get that information provided to the council, I sure appreciate it.
Now remember when he had when he had the news thing, I'm teaming up with Port City Missions, all that stuff was a fraud. All of that was fake. All of that was cap. All of that was for the gram. How the young folks say it, right? All of this is fraudulent because he thought he was going to get some of that federal dollars, right? But it didn't end up going this way. So he like, to the hell with those homeless folks, right? We ain't got no money. We ain't got nothing for them. So people, just like Ken Law said right here, right? Everybody has some homeless issues, right? This isn't some type of new type of deal that you have to come up and brainstorm some stuff, right? You can just go through and do some of the research of these other cities in the local area, outside the local area, see how they dealing with some homeless, see what we can do, what we can legally do, and go ahead and do it. Hey, if we can't do really much of anything, we can go ahead and give some people resources. Have the time to go out there and give them resources, or have them leave resources at the Port City Missions or the Catholic charities that do the food over there. The meals. Look, the basic point trying to say, right? We have some clowns like Mayor Bartie that can't do the simplest of tasks, right? When he trying to take over this homeless coalition, right? What is called the Port Arthur Homeless Coalition. When he tried to call it the Mayor's Homeless Coalition, he couldn't even get that together, right? He could not set up a meeting, people. You have to just sit there and think about how ridiculous this is. He failed to have the intelligence to go ahead and set up meetings for a homeless coalition, right? Think about that. This man is so incompetent, he cannot set up a meeting. But you believe going to out of town, right? Going to all of these trips and out of towns. Now, I got to do another meeting where they want to add seven. I got to do another podcast where they want to do 75,000 to some trips, right? So you see how dumb this son of a gun is. He can't do a simple task like getting a meeting together, but you expect this fool to goddamn lobby for us, right? But that's coming in on another podcast. But the basic point of me saying all this, right? If he can't we can't trust him with something that's free, right? We can't trust this fool to call a meeting. He don't even need to be at a meeting. Say, hey, Homeless Coalition, y'all can go ahead and meet. If this sorry son of a dog doesn't have the intelligence to do that, how can we trust this mayor to do anything that's vitally important to this city?
Okay, any other? Oh, city attorney.
Mayor and council members, I will add that to the January 14th, 2025 City Council meeting for advisement and discussion. Thank you.
Okay, any other remarks on this? If not, we'll move to the next item. Next item would be number 3. It is a discussion.
And there you go, people. Please go ahead and like and share this, right? And you know, this is just another episode of the Clown Show. And until next time, everybody, this is the PA Political Revolution Podcast. Until the next time, peace.